I really want to say this for the OGs and the 90s babies. We're blasting off again. It was funnier in my head. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here. And today, we're going to be talking about one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! After a pretty strong showing in the last format, as well as not being hit by the Forbidden List, Rokket Dragonlink is bound to take over as one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And in this video, I'm not only going to be giving you a deck profile of a Rokket Dragonlink deck, I will also show you how the deck operates. So of course, if you want to see more content like this, then be sure to use your Rokket Tracer to destroy that subscribe button, but also be sure to hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. So without further ado, I think the best way is to show you how powerful Rokket Dragonlink is through the deck profile. Okay guys, so I actually split the deck up into 5 different categories. This actually allows me to explain the cards a little easier as opposed to just going monster, spells, and traps, and allows me to address certain cards in here for budget options in case you are a budget player. Of course, I will leave the deck list down in the description, and mad shout out to my boy Vel for actually writing them up. Really appreciate you, and I'm pretty sure the TheCaliEffect Too Strong community appreciates you as well. Appreciate you as well. So for the Rokket engine, we run 3 copies of Rokket Tracer, 2 copies of Rokket Recharger, and 1 copy of Rokket Synchron, which is complemented by 1 copy of Absorouter Dragon. I feel that this is like the perfect number. If there was a card that I actually wanted to play more of, it would be Rokket Synchron. And then if there was a card that I feel that you can cut and get away with, it's actually Rokket Tracer. The reason why we play 3 copies of Rokket Tracer is because if you see it in your opening hand, which could be likely if you play 3 copies, obviously, then you don't have to go searching for it, meaning that those other cards in your hand could be used for other resources. But this is actually really important to the deck as it allows you to go into your synchro plays, sometimes into your link plays, and a lot of times it's just a perfect extender, especially when you complement it with your 3 copies of Quick Launch and your 1 Boot Sector Launch. But that's pretty much it for the totality of the Rokket engine inside of this deck. Really, really important for the strategy. So after that, I do run a Dragonmaid engine. James has never been good without Jesse, so why would I expect any different for the Rokket Dragonlink strategy? With that, we run 3 copies of Chamber Dragonmaid, 1 copy of Hospitality, and 2 copies of Tidying. Now, last time I checked about with Chamber Dragonmaids, they were $50 a copy. I know not everyone can afford Chamber Dragonmaids, and it's okay. If you guys cannot afford this, you can drop your Chamber Dragonmaids, the Tidings, and the Hospitalities, and run a Red Eyes engine, which consists of 3 Black Metal Dragons and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and you'll be exactly at 40 cards, so there you have it. The reason why I went against that is because Chamber Dragonmaid actually provides a mid-game, a late game, as well as drawing multiple copies of Chamber Dragonmaid is no problem. So the first thing I want to establish is that Chamber Dragonmaid by itself is just like Black Metal Dragon. You summon Black Metal Dragon, make Striker Dragon, add Red Eyes, and then you summon the Red Eyes. Well, for the Dragonmaid combo, you summon Chamber, you add Hospitality, you link into Striker, and then you can Hospitality back the Dragonmaid. But after that, the Red Eyes combo pretty much becomes useless, whereas Chamber Dragonmaid can either search Dragonmaid Tidying if you have full combo, which not only serves as disruption, but can also special summon Chamber back to your side of the field, and if it's on the following turns, you can add more Dragonmaid cards from your deck to your hand. With that in mind, I felt that this engine was just superior to the Red Eyes engine, and it's been really, really good within this particular deck. So outside of that, we do run a Chaos engine, 1 copy of Levianeer, 1 Black Dragon, 1 White Dragon, and 2 Starliege Seyfert. This is a really good engine, especially as a part of the combo. You search Chaos Dragon Levianeer, rip a card out of your opponent's hand, and then keep playing. And these 2 cards are really important because it can add Levianeer or Borreload Savage Dragon back into your deck or hand, respectively. And also it searches the Black and White Dragons. Of course, we complement that with 3 copies of Chaos Space to be able to search Black, White, and the Levianeer, as well as put these cards to the bottom of our deck for free draws. Now, I do run a lot of extension dragons, and what I've noticed is that the more extenders you open in your hand, the better. So I wanted to max out on those opportunities to be able to get those cards. 3 copies of Noctovision Dragon, 1 copy of Omni Dragon Brotaur, 3 copies of World Legacy Guardragon. Now, this is pretty much, you're going to see this in almost every Dragonlink deck. This is going to be able to search you your card, you know, your Chaos Dragon, Levianeer, or whatever Dragon monster you need in case you have Levianeer. World Legacy Guardragon is probably the best reborn spell card for this deck, and Noctovision is insane, especially since it actually can protect your Dragonmaid Tidying. People don't see that coming. Try to Cosmic Cyclone you, and boy, Noctovision comes in clutch. Also, the Monster Reborn and the Dragon Ravine searchable through the deck, so you can send the Absorouter Dragon, and Monster Reborn is just a generic extender. Moving forward, I do play hand traps. I felt that all of the hand traps weren't necessarily like, since I don't play a lot, I wanted to end my opponent's turn, so I decided to play hand traps to end my opponent's turn. And with that, I think main boarding 3 copies of Artifact Lancea is either a genius move or a mistake. The reason why I play Lancea is because not only can it end my opponent's turn, I can add this to my hand through Chaotic Ruler. So if I am going against decks like the Mirror Match, Eldritch, Virtual World, basically Dinos, any top contending deck, which pretty much will struggle against this card, not only can I search Lancea, I can discard it with Chaos Space against in the matchups that aren't so preferable, and then still keep playing. And then 3 copies of Gamma with the Driver. I thought that this was the better hand trap to go second, because not only does it negate the card, it gets rid of it. And of course, it's still a Chaos Space and a Chaotic Ruler target. And then the last card is Called by the Grave to stop my opponent's hand traps, or to, of course, be able to play aggressively and banish my opponent's important cards. Now I'm going to breeze through the extra deck. 1 copy of Hot Red. You summon this card actually a lot. Borrelboy, Chaotic Ruler, Borrelsword, Saryuja, Apollousa. 2 copies of Spheres. This card's actually really good. There are times where you make this guy in the beginning of your combo, and then you get into Nibiru, so it summons you another dragon and you just keep playing. Quad Burrow. You could drop this for Hucklefibrix. I really was stuck between either this or Hucklefibrix, but I went with this because it's a good card. It gets rid of Link monsters too. 1 Romulus. I feel that you must play 3 copies of Striker Dragon. So in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of people think that you're going to win in the first few turns. That's not how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works anymore. I have cards to end my opponent's turn and potentially OTK, but that's not always plausible. You're going to need to be able to win into that those later stages of the game. And Striker Dragon, you know, being able to summon any dragon monster, turn it into a Striker Dragon, which will allow it to destroy yourself to add Rokket Recharger to special summon. It's nutty. It's like the best thing you could have inside of a Dragonlink deck. That's why I feel that 3 copies of Striker Dragon are just so important, because there are times where you'll go through 2 in 1 combo, and then obviously, you know, you need the 3rd one to follow up. And then of course 1 LP and 1 Pisty. That is it for the deck profile. Some cards that I did not consider playing. One of them was the Protector Whelp and the DMZ Dragon combo. So you run this with the Buster Lock that just came off the Forbidden list. I think personally that this is trash, and the reason why is because when we were playing the Buster Lock originally, we had Union Carrier, and then you just have to play the Brick Buster, whereas this requires you to play the Protector Rope, it requires you to play DMZ, it requires you to play the Synchro Monster, the Dragunity Synchro Monster, it requires you to play Phalanx and Pike, just to prevent my opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, I mean, if you go against certain decks, they're just going to set 5 back row and pass anyways. They don't really care. Like, you're going to play all these bricks just to do all that, and it's like, bro, I'm going to win Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways. I'm playing the best deck. Why do I need to play more bricks into the best deck, you know, to be more oppressive? I don't need that. This deck has a better grind game because I don't play really gimmicky cards, and I feel really confident about it. But now that I'm done with the main board and the extra deck, I think that I've talked about all of the cards that Dragonlink players have considered playing, but I can show you guys a few test hands and we'll get you on going. So moving on to the test hands, one thing I want to point out is that we're going to be doing 1 test hand on this video, and if you guys would like to see more test hands, I will place them on Patreon. Just a little bit of announcement: no matter what tier you were in, you will be able to see all of the Patreon content. Just a little bit of I appreciate you guys, and I know y'all trying to get the TheCaliEffect to 2-stroke status or Stronker status. So with our first test hand, we are going to open Chamber Dragonmaid, Chaos Space, a Tidying, Artifact Lancea, and a World Legacy Guardragon. I can say that this hand is really, really good. So good, I'm not even 100% sure what to do. We did open Tidying as well as Chaos Space. I feel like I can Chaos Space the Chamber and then keep playing, but let's actually make this Chamber... Yeah, man, look, let's go ahead and do that. Let's Chaos Space the Chamber, which that's crazy how we can do that. So we're gonna Chaos Space the Chamber for, where is it? A White Dragon Wyverburster. And then I'm going to World Legacy Guardragon the Chamber, Activator Effect. I already have Tidying in hand, so we'll get the Hospitality to our hands. And now I will link off the Chamber into Striker Dragon, Striker Dragon's effect. Then we'll add the Boot Sector launch. Where's that booty boot? Coincidentally, I could have held on and used the Lancea, but we're just gonna go ahead and show you the best of the best with this particular combo. I'll Hospitality the Chamber, and then we will link off right here into the Hieratic Seal. Notice how we're using Hieratic Seal this time. I'll banish a Dark Monster. I kind of want to banish the Chamber to special summon the White Dragon Wyverburster. And then we'll link off the Wyverburster into LP, trigger the effect of white. We'll get black this time. And then I'll use Guardragon to move over LP. I would have to discard a card from my hand. A card that I don't want to discard just yet. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and summon black right now. And let's summon it right here. And then we're going to Chaos Space this to the bottom. What would I have drawn? Oh, that would have been pretty good. And actually, I don't think it really matters what I draw, because that's going to be the card that I'm going to discard with Omni Dragon Brotaur. So it's going to be all good. Let's go ahead and draw Rokket Recharger. That's actually a pretty good card to have in the graveyard, and is a reason why we run multiple copies of that. Guardragon LP now. We will use LP to special summon Brotaur. And now Brotaur will discard the Rokket Tracer. And we will add Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Basically, essentially what you guys are saying are just, this is Rokket combos, guys. Basically what you do. Next, Brotaur into Pisty. Pisty effect. Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I'll bring back... Wait, hold on. Not Pisty's effect. We're going to banish all three. For Levianeer to rip a card out of our opponent's hand. And then Pisty will bring back the Brotaur. Next, we will link these two off. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Okay, no, I'm doing something right. We'll link these two off for Romulus. Romulus effect. This is really ridiculous, guys. I think the only thing I kind of regret having banished is the Chamber, but, you know, sometimes it happens. Like, I would have loved to instead banish the Guardragon monsters and keep these in graveyard, but it really doesn't. It's no big deal. Next, I can just make a 4-negate Apollousa. I could make a Saryuja, but I think the 4-negation Apollousa would serve me way better. There is that 4-negation Apollousa. And then Black Dragon. We'll get White Dragon. Ravine. That'll send the White Dragon Wyverburster to send Absorouter. Trigger Absorouter's effect. Get Rokket Tracer. Next, Boot Sector launch. Summon Tracer. Tracer effect will destroy the Guardragon. Really happy at this point in time that we play multiple copies of Rokket Recharger. Some builds don't play multiple copies of, you know, the target, but in this particular instance, we are extremely happy. We'll go to Borreload Savage Dragon, and then Savage will equip the Romulus. And this is our board, guys. This is our board. We have so many disruptions right here. So even though Borreload Savage Dragon has 2 disruptions, we're just gonna say it's 1 disruption, 1, 5, 6, 7, with an Artifact Lancea that ends our opponent's turn. So typically, let's say if our opponent does get around this breaking this board, just to show you how powerful this deck is. So Hieratic Seal, when you guys use that effect, you typically want to summon Chamber, and Chamber's effect will activate. It really depends on what you're trying to do, but we're going to use Chamber in this particular instance, and then we're going to lose our entire board. We're going to lose the entire thing, even the Lancea. We'll say we use that. So right now, this is something that will resemble a mid to late game. Any extender, even without the Tidying, this would be in our hand. Even without this, because we can typically get this into our hand after using Hieratic Seal and whatnot, we still, like Monster Reborn, World Legacy Guardragon, a monster, you know, a dragon monster we can summon, literally gets us into the game. So Chaos Space obviously wouldn't do that, but obviously we have the Chamber Dragonmaid, so it kind of doesn't matter. Gamma wouldn't do that, and another Chamber Dragonmaid. We're just going to stick with the Chamber Dragonmaid because that's all we know. So normal Chamber. Unfortunately, we hard drew to Tidying, so that's not going to be the case. Go into Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon effect. Destroy itself to add the Rokket Recharger. Now, Recharger's effect. We could special summon a Rokket monster. This time around, I think I'll summon Tracer. Really wish I had a particular card that Tracer could destroy, because we could go even further in. And then I'll use the Dragonmaid Tidying in the graveyard. We will bring back Chamber to our side of the field. Oh man, I wish that we had a way. If we had a way to destroy, this would be off the chain, but it doesn't matter. We'll synchro with these 2. We don't have to synchro. I think we will still synchro. We'll go into our Chaotic Ruler. This card's a beast. 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, not hitting for us this time. We'll get the Nocto. And to be honest, I'm not really, I don't think I drew. Oh, well, I'm not really impressed with what we have here, but we do have Chaos Space in graveyard. So let's go ahead and banish Space to return the Striker so we can draw an additional card. Well, I mean, that gets us right into the game. That's exactly what we're looking for. World Legacy Guardragon. Bring back out Rokket Tracer. Special summon Noctovision. I'm gonna link off Chaotic Ruler and the Noctovision into Hieratic Seal. Trigger the effect of Nocto. We'll draw a quick launch. It gets ridiculous. Banish. And we'll banish the Chamber Dragonmaid. We'll special summon the Chaotic Ruler right back to our side of the field. Rokket Tracer will destroy the World Legacy Guardragon, so we can special summon Rokket Synchron. And now we can synchro a Rokket Synchron and Chaotic Ruler for our hot red dragon Archfiend Abyss. So as you guys can see, we wound up getting 3 more disruptions with a completely open hand, like just the Dragonmaid Tidying and a Chamber Dragonmaid in our hand. We were able to build even more disruptions. That's what I love about Rokket Dragonlink, is that it can win excuse me, in those games of attrition. And while the extra deck might not look amazing right now, I mean, look what we have on the field. We kind of like summoned everything in our arsenal. Well, that is all that I have for Rokket Dragonlink. Again, if you guys want to see more test stands, go ahead and check out my Patreon. Also, be sure to check out these awesome videos to catch up on more CaliEffect content, and I'll catch you on the next one.